Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another lovely edition of Friday with Friends. And today we didn't have to go far at all. Instead of going in front of the camera, we went behind the camera to our local producer, Meeta. Welcome, Meeta. It's good to see you on this side. I actually get to see you today.
Yes, it feels very nice. I've been hearing all these lovely conversations on different themes and happy to be sharing something more.
Yeah, it brings up something I was thinking of when I mentioned to you earlier that, to learn something from you. And what I was thinking was that you're in like the catbird seat, as so to speak, as you're able to see. You've seen so many things, so many classes, see what works, see what doesn't work. It's a really interesting position to be in. And I wonder if you've ever thought of that as you went on, or have you appreciated the position that you've been in?
Oh, wow. Yes, actually, almost every time I would hear so many things which sometimes would be in line with my own journey or my own looking at my journey. But so many times I would feel there are so many different ways people, arrive at similar understanding, but their journey has been so much different. Their upbringing, their growth, their exposure, their professions. But it is still so interesting that we all arrive at similar patterns or similar directions, and I'm always amazed at every conversation. I feel it is so unique to the person.
Yes.
Yes.
I've often think the same exact thing, and that's why it's such a pleasure for me to be part of this. And what's even better is that a lot of times a main complaint that people have is, I'd love to do this, but I don't have time. I'd like to do this, but I don't have time. Well, you're here doing it, and so it's like you're in this position because of your role, and it goes to a bigger issue that where we are is perfect. It's not that I need to be somewhere else or I wish I had time. That by doing this, by offering yourself to do this position, you're able to learn so much and be exposed to things that you never would before because you don't have time.
Yes, Craig. Actually, I was just thinking when I started, with these meditation classes and understanding more of these things, going for the sessions, I was studying at USF. And as you know, most of the meditation sessions are in the morning, and many times with friends, and especially on weekends, it's late night, you're doing nothing. You're just chatting or watching something, or maybe just cooking or still cleaning. And I was thinking, you just, if you start thinking of time, I don't know how, it could be very tricky to find, but
yes,
you just, okay, once you don't sleep, you just go and, you just do what, like something like the topic today, instead of what not to do, you just pick up and do something. And it doesn't feel like you're letting go on your sleep or some fun with friends. Right. And you're adding newness and, something which is pulling you, right? Nobody is asking you to do anything, but your own interest is pulling you to know more, do more. So pick up on that. And
more. You're right. So that brings us right into today's topic, which I didn't mention the title, but for those of you who are watching, today's title is, instead of saying letting go, say renew or recharge. Because that's what we're really doing. Letting go seems like a thing. What are your feelings on that term, letting go, as contrasted to renewing or recharging?
Yeah, I was, when I started thinking, I thought letting go is not a term which would come in my thoughts or decision making, so easily. Maybe because I'm meditating or reflecting a little bit on myself more now, my capacity has increased. So maybe I can say there are a few things I would want to let go, or, but that is not a normal way how I would talk to myself. Letting go is something good if it happens, but I would rather, try to, because I am it's not something that pulls me, oh, I have to go today to let go of something, you know. But I have to go today to find something new, something interesting, something refreshing, something exciting. And when I'm busy holding on to that, or trying to navigate in those creative spaces, I would happily want to let go of things which I understand as I proceed. So letting go to me was like a little turn off. You know, if you give me a list of things I should let go, or, you know, I would be a little reluctant to look at those. Yeah, I would not want to.
I know it
have
seems like because it goes against accomplishing or striving or trying to accomplish anything. Doesn't let go usually doesn't part of that process. But when I think of the word recharge, and what do we have in today's world? One thing that everything is reliant upon is energy. So electricity. Right now, what's the first thing we always have to do? To make sure we have enough battery.
Yeah.
We always have to make sure we have enough battery. So I need to plug in. I have to make sure, and I don't care how disorganized I am or whatever. Somehow I manage to I find a place to plug in.
Yes, yes. We become creative in finding those places, those empty.
And
yes, yes.
And what does it really do? The plugging in is not something to bring from the outside in, but it's to recharge what I already have. And while I'm doing that, stillness is the best. I can't go roller skating at the same time or doing all of the things. I have to take the time and put my device down and actually let it recharge.
Yes.
Is it something? Now, here's a question for you. Is it something from the outside that I'm trying to get, or is it something from the inside that's already there that I'm recharging for? What is it that I'm recharging?
More and more I do that, and I understand it better and better. It is the inner work. It is the inner work. And I understand now that, yes, I have the capacity to do it anywhere, anytime. But I think I've arrived at this understanding after doing it at certain timings in a certain way. Silence has been part of it. And not just for a day, 2 or few months. I think it has been, you know, a longer period of silence. And actually, I also feel that we are with ourselves in any case, whether silence or not, right? We are with ourselves doing, planning, attending to things. We spend 24/7 with ourselves. So we don't have to go out of the way and find somebody. We are already. So just, you know, become aware. I think awareness is a very simple word, but with meditation and spirituality, that is a huge one.
Oh, you're so right.
Yeah. So you're not creating, but you're just increasing your awareness.
You know, I think I'm managing. I'm a manager of myself. And a word that you mentioned earlier that I've been thinking about is untangling. Mm-hmm. And so it's like this by taking this time of being silent and recharging all the tangles that I've created, you know, trying to charge up the best I could. I got my wires crossed somehow. And then, you know, if you ever see the back of a computer and have all those wires running all over the place, it's very confusing to me. I don't even like to see that because it reminds me maybe of my own inner self. I have things going in different directions and I just want a simple charge. Like
I,
right now in that moment.
yes, I feel, and it's also very cool to look at it just because at some point you realize it is me, my creation, and I have a role to untangle it, not somebody else from somewhere else. And not only I have a role, I can make it a fun thing. It doesn't have to be on the let go list, it can be on the renew list, recharge list. And I think that is the driving force. That is why I would want to do it every day. Because there is this open creative space where I can look at all these things every time with a fresh perspective, a refreshing perspective, more aware perspective. And it can be a lot of mess, not that it is going to be a clean slate of simple things, but somehow, for some reason, you look forward to going through the dirty things and putting it together. So that energy, or that factor is energizing. It, you want to go fix it, you want to go untangle it.
That what you just said, it just hit me, and I realized that it is fun. It's like whole idea of children getting physical fitness is called play, and so in a way, that's what, when you said that, I remind me, well, I'm really just enjoying myself, like playing this game of identifying. And when I don't know what to do, and I recharge, I'm just recharging everything. And now I'm becoming more and more specific about what I'm recharging. Now, I'm not recharging my opinions that I have of others, but I'm recharging, trying to see only what is beneficial and not that which I don't like, because I realize how much energy that takes to support any type of dislike or ill feelings or judgment or criticism, even the slightest thing. This is taking my vital energy. So the benefit for just me, if my only goal is to benefit me, this really is the key. And anyone could do it, no matter what your desire is or what your goal is. This silence is really is what recharging is. Really what it is in meditation is where I can recharge.
Yes, and I always like that we are, just because we are invested in our recharging, means we have opened our understanding to knowing ourselves. I mean, that comes first, and sort of knowing that I am this energy, using the body and engaged in all the relationship. This also becomes very foundational in my efforts or in my renewing. And like you said, it makes it easy, everything else that I was holding on to, I can now let go, because I'm more grounded in my essence, and I don't have to keep on investing my energies in the other little creation, because if my essence is clean, clear, and strong, everything emerging from that would continue to grow beautifully without extra attention, because the attention is there at the core space. So it does relieve you from extra work.
You make it sound so simple.
I want to continue to make it sound simple, because sometimes I get stuck in, and I realize how I am still invested in, working on little parts, and how the fundamental is to focus on the core as I speak. But that's true. It is simple, but you see how you don't make it simple. So you always keep moving between these spaces.
And that's kind of the game. The game is I'm amused with myself when I see, kind of like a puppet, I'm jumping here and there. And because I keep forgetting that it's so easy, that all I have to do is take the time to recharge. And all that can happen to me is I could get more energized. And that's exactly what I need. It always, and if you look at all the, you've met many powerful yogis in your time here, is that you see they're all different. Everyone's got a different personality, as we were saying earlier. But one thing that's the same is that there's always this abundant energy that everyone has, probably because what you mentioned earlier is because they've stopped investing in activities that delete more than they give. And so this is where where knowledge comes in, of knowing what to invest in, and what to recharge, and what to not to bother charging again.
Yes. And I think the letting go will happen, whatever, because then as you progress, as you proceed, you do understand things which you shouldn't continue, and all that you wouldn't if you understand the reason. So then that comes with an understanding, and you would love to let go of those things rather than, oh, I have to let go. And that's another beauty of this meditation. I like, you don't have to let go of anything until you understand. So hold on to it and see.
That is such a good point. I was going to ask you if you have any tips, and that's a beautiful one right there. And I think people need to hear that, is that you don't have to let go of anything until you're ready to. Because so often when people think of spirituality or religious practice or anything like that, it's like putting on a heavy coat, like a discipline. They know it's good for them, but they don't really want to do it. Maybe it's hot out now and I want to take my coat off. So it's different than that. It's, you have to recognize yourself. What other gleanings about this aspect of recharging or letting go, which, I was thinking that the real word is a real scary word. The real word is surrender. That's letting go is kind of like a nice way of saying it, but even nicer is saying recharge. So kind of the sales pitch is, let's recharge. And then you let go, and then you realize, oh, my way up to now has been, there's no need for me even to carry on anymore. So I'm going to surrender this aspect of my personality because it's no longer serving me. But what I really love, and what I have found nowhere else in the world except in Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga, is that no one asks you to do anything. No one forces you to do anything. Everything's left up to you, like given such respect and recognition that you will come to this of your own conclusion. So with that in mind, are there any other gleanings or practical tips that someone who's watching, like, yeah, I'd like to meditate, but maybe, what is the reason they say they don't have time is because they don't see enough value. So I see kind of our role is really kind of a salesperson for silence.
Well, honestly, I feel if somebody's watching this, has some interest, has some inclination, and that itself is more than what you need to be on this path. I mean, you don't need anything else, just an interest. Honestly, if I didn't have any interest, I don't think I had any big reasons to be, for me personally, I'm saying.
Yes.
But I found it interesting, and I found that somebody here is telling me more about myself. Somebody knows more about me, more than me, those type of things were very amusing for me, and I would want to know more about me. And then you also, and they make sense, right? If somebody's listening, if any of this is making sense, you have an inclination, and I think that's more than enough. And just keep listening if that is what you like. Keep sitting in silence if that is what you like. As things are online, there's a wealth of treasures, classes, understandings, and just go attend and see what pulls you, and where it may take you. I think interest is all you need, and if you're watching this, you already have it. So
Sign me up. Sign me up.
yes.
I know exactly what you're saying, because I feel that, and that's my experience too, is that just I had the interest, and then you're right. Something that you said perked my mind, is that someone may know more about me than me, because they're also walking that same path, and there's a natural kind of empathy and compassion that goes along with this whole process. So everything is of value, and I really have nothing to lose. There's absolutely nothing to lose, except that which is no longer necessary to carry. I've carried it up to now because somehow I've needed it, but now I'm saying, wow, I'm lightening my load, and it feels good.
Yes, certainly.
Sister, I think that's it. That's it. It's not about how much or putting in a certain time. It's that you feel that, oh, the message got across, and I feel it. So let's finish with a little recharge and renew time. Would you take us through a little commentary meditation for a couple of minutes to and this experience with this theme of recharging?
Okay. You could do it too. I mean, anything is fine.
Anything is fine, but I like being the part. I want to take two. So I want to. I that's one of the things I really enjoy is in the interaction of feeling the energy from talking to you, and experience just what you were saying, that when you're on the other side of the camera, you're saying, wow, I'm getting more out of this than anybody.
Yeah.
I'm getting more out of this than anybody.
Sure. Okay. Reflecting on these perspectives shared, I gently continue to look within, and appreciate my interest of being part of this conversation. These experiences somehow resonate with my little journey that I am aware of. How can I continue to tap into this silence, to tap into perhaps my past and my upcoming future? To tap into my energy and I perhaps understand its connection with this immediate world around me. I may or may not consider myself untangled, but how can I renew, recharge, and make this part of my regular personal time. The sweet inner discovery. I look forward to taking one step after this meditation. Continue to keep it fresh. And I understand I have support for the next steps. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm definitely recharged to take the next steps. Thank you so much. I am so happy that you came out from the other side of the camera.
My pleasure. I mean, it was not the most comfortable thing I was looking forward to, but it was nice.
Oh, it's you just such honesty that coming from you is really, that's what's really powerful, is just the clarity of honesty. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.
Sure. Bye.
Bye.